In my opinion, summer is the most challenging season to style, fashion-wise. And I know what you're thinking, Emma, no, winter is the most challenging season to style. I disagree, okay? At least with winter, you can layer things. Yes, it is challenging to look chic during the winter because you're layering 4 or 5 different pieces of clothing. You're kind of hidden behind a puffer jacket and a balaclava and a scarf and gloves. But at least you can layer, okay? During the summer, I go into my closet to get dressed and I'm like, I don't want to wear anything. I want to be nude. And that's a problem because in order to style yourself in a way that feels interesting and fashionable, a lot of times you need to put a lot of pieces on your body, you know? A plain t-shirt and little shorts and little flip-flops, that's cute, but that's not necessarily super fashionable, super interesting a lot of the times, right? It's basic. And that's great, but it's not fashionable, right? An outfit becomes fashionable when it has dimension, when it has intrigue, when it has a sense of personality. And that's really hard to do during the summer because we don't want to wear clothes because it's so hot, right? And that's why I think summer is the most challenging season to style. Can you look cute during the summer? Absolutely. In fact, I think summer has some of the best, most inviting color palettes and materials. Like summer has all the potential to be the chicest season. But due to the hot temperatures and all of our desires to be comfortable, it's really hard to execute on that, at least in my experience. And that's why today I'm going to walk you all through my guide to summer clothing, okay? I've been struggling with being fashionable during the summer for many years. And through my struggles, I think I've come up with some methods of how to feel chic during the summer while still feeling comfortable. Because that's the thing. A lot of people on Instagram look really chic during the summer, but I can guarantee you they are so uncomfortable. If you see someone wearing a gorgeous sundress with a corset and a boot on and a beautiful big sunglass and a headscarf, they're sweating. The corset is like drenched in sweat. They have blisters in the boot because hot weather in a boot is a terrible combination. A lot of people look really chic on Instagram during the summer, but I can guarantee they're uncomfortable. And that's not what we want. Okay, that's unrealistic. So my guide to summer clothing isn't just a guide on how to look cute, how to feel fashionable, but also how to be comfortable. Because that's the element that I think is the hardest to accomplish in summer. Cute, chic, fashionable, but also comfortable. It's possible. It's possible. Trust me. So without further ado, Emma's guide to summer clothing. Let's begin. I briefly interrupt this episode to let you know that this episode is presented by Dove's new Plant Milk Cleansing Collection. You know how I love my little treats, and I feel the same way about treating my skin in the shower. So I give my skin what it's craving with Dove's Plant Milk Collection body washes. Made with a special plant milk blend, just one shower deeply hydrates your skin and leaves you feeling soft and glowing. My favorite scent is the oat milk and berry brulee, but they all smell incredible. Turn your next shower into the little treat your skin deserves. Head to Target to buy Dove's Plant Milk Collection body wash before it sells out. Now, back to the episode. I think what it really comes down to is having the right staple pieces in your closet. So let's walk through what I think are some key staple summer pieces, starting with tops. Okay, what I'm about to tell you is the obvious, but it has to be said anyway. Basics during the summer are the best. Okay, basic tank tops, basic loose, light t-shirts. They're simple, but they are staples. And there are ways to make them more interesting, okay? I think for one, having interesting colored t-shirts and tank tops. Like, for example, I in my closet, I know what colors look good on me. So I have tank tops and t-shirts in those colors. I know blue looks good on me. I know olive green looks good on me. I know gray looks good on me. I know white looks good on me. I know black looks good on me. I know brown sometimes looks good on me. So, I have one of each tank top and t-shirt in every color that I know looks good on me, right? Now, to make it more interesting, there are many things you can do, okay? You can find tank tops and t-shirts that have something sort of sentimental on them for you, right? A vacation destination that you love, a movie or TV show that you love, an animal that you love. This is all obvious stuff, but I think the best basics are things that do have a little personal element on them. Like, it's great to have a white tank top in your closet. We should all have a blank white tank top in our closet. But imagine a basic white tank top that says Cape Cod, Massachusetts on it. Maybe that's a town that you visited every summer when you were a kid, you know? That's a great conversation starter. That's a tank top that you'll never want to get rid of, okay? Another option, ringer tees. Okay, a ringer tee is like a little t-shirt or tank top that has a contrasting color around the neckline and around the armholes or arm bands. Kind of 70s vibes. Cute. Okay, it's a subtle little detail. It's timeless. You'll be able to wear that for the rest of your life, but it's something a little bit more interesting. You could also find basics that have a unique element. Okay, I'll give some examples. I remember like a few months ago, I was shopping around and I saw Acne Studios had this gorgeous tank top, simple white tank top that had little buckle clasps on the shoulders. And it's a subtle detail that doesn't add any sort of weight or heat, right? It's still a simple light tank top, but that little detail on the shoulder gives it more personality. Finding little basics like that, that's going to be really helpful this summer, okay? Another example, I actually just bought, I know I say Emma doesn't shop anymore, but I do shop every once in a while, okay? I just bought this simple cream t-shirt that fits beautifully. It actually fits kind of unique. It has like a slightly wider neck than an average t-shirt. It has a slightly more feminine cut. It's a bit more tailored around the top half. Like it's kind of tight around the rib and the breast, kind of flares out slightly on the bottom. It has a unique shape. It's not like a boxy average t-shirt or, you know, a classic tight sort of t-shirt. It's like kind of unique. And it has a beautiful pocket in the center on the front. You know, normally a pocket t-shirt, it's like a little pockets on the side. Not this t-shirt. The pocket's in the center. It's unique. It's a little quirky. It's a little silly. I hate the word quirky, but I just said it. It's a t-shirt, but it's that little detail makes it unique. Finding tank tops and t-shirts that have little details like that, so great for summer. Because again, it's adding detail in dimension without adding layers, which is very important. But I also do love layering t-shirts and tank tops on top of each other. There's so many different options. It can sometimes be a bit tricky if it's really hot out. Like if it's 100 degrees, you're not going to want to layer two tank tops on top of each other. You're not going to want to layer a tank top on top of a tight t-shirt, right? Like that's too hot. But if it's like 78, sure. Layering, you know, say a white tank top under a black tank top, layering two slightly different green t-shirts and tank tops for kind of more of a monochromatic thing. The options are endless. But that dimension is really cool and takes, you know, basic tank tops and t-shirts and makes it more interesting. You can also add patches or pins. I recently fell in love with pins. I love pins. Actually, funny story. I think I talked about this a few months ago. I bought a button maker so that I could make little button pins to put on my clothes. But it ended up being a piece of shit. It fully didn't work. Fully didn't work. Like I brought in my mom, a man in my life who's really good with like little like machinery, like, and no one could figure it out. So I ultimately donated it. Maybe somebody else will figure out how to use it. I couldn't. I might buy a new one, but I might also just stick to like buying vintage ones at this point. That was going to be a hobby and then it didn't work out. But anyways, I recently just bought off eBay like a bunch of little patches that have my name on it. And I've been sort of putting them on things. Like I just took a patch and ironed it onto a pair of little basic white sort of boxer shorts that I have just to add a bit of detail. Pins, patches, buttons, all of these things can add a really sweet sort of personal touch and a pop of color as well. So, and you can attach these things to anything. Denim shorts, plain tank tops. The opportunities are endless, babe. Okay? Tap in to the pins, patches, and buttons. Okay? It's a vibe. Another thing you can do that I recently discovered, and it might be controversial and some people might not like it. And to be honest, I, like a year ago, might have thought that this was stupid, but I discovered this through just styling myself, actually for Coachella. And then I ended up really liking it. And now it's something that I'm like wearing, and it's really interesting. Belting a shirt, okay? I might cringe at this in 6 months. I might call this trendy and chuggy in 6 months, but for now, for some reason, I really like it. Taking like a basic tank top, t-shirt, and belting it, and then kind of like having fun with how you sort of pull the shirt and get a little bit of slack going in the shirt. It's kind of cute. It's almost like a little mini corset. The only problem I have with it is that the belt is ultimately pointless. And that's a gripe I have with accessorizing, is like the accessory has to be comfortable and it has to serve some sort of purpose usually for it to be sort of a timeless accessory. This is arguably not a timeless accessory. So this is sort of going against my own philosophy. However, it's not uncomfortable. So that's a redeeming quality. I don't know. Listen, I like it. I posted a little Instagram reel of me in my little Coachella outfit with the white tank top and I had a little red belt cinching the waist of the tank top. And it was hit or miss. Some people were like, this is so weird. Like, what are you wearing? And then some people were like, wait, I get it. And I like it. So give it a try. You might love it. You might hate it. But those are some ideas of how to make basic t-shirts and tank tops more interesting for the summer without adding heat, Another incredible top option during the summer would be a light shirt, right? Something with not a lot of fabric, okay? A tank top sort of silhouette. Well, not tank top silhouette, but like something with no sleeves, but that has an interesting silhouette, okay? I'm talking halter tops. I'm talking mock neck tank tops. I'm talking a tank top that cuts right underneath the breast, something that's like super cropped, if that's something that you're into. Or maybe sort of a tank top that's made of terry cloth, like towel material, or maybe a top that has sheer elements, or perhaps a top that has cutouts, or, silhouettes that are interesting and comfortable, but aren't thick and like constricting, if that's even the right word. Constricting and constraining. I will say, when it comes to tops like this, it can be hit or miss, right? Like a lot can go wrong with sort of unique sleeveless tops. Number one, they can be really challenging to take on and off, in my experience. Like if you have a lot of cutouts or a lot of different like straps that you need to, like tie together, or, something is not super structurally sound. And so like a nipple might fly out, or, something's too sheer and like you can see nipple. Like, I don't know. It can be a challenging genre of top. It can also fall into the hyper trendy category. Like a lot of times these sort of tank tops, I don't know, they can be really trendy and like have a really big moment and then be out the next moment. And you're like, oh my God, I just bought this like cute strappy top and now everybody's saying on TikTok that it's like not cute anymore. What am I supposed to do? A lot of times when things are really detailed like that, they can fall into the super trendy category. So, I think it's about being mindful, finding something that is truly your style, and finding something that you feel comfortable wearing, right? Because again, if you don't feel comfortable wearing it, number one, you're not going to wear it. It'll just collect dust in the closet. But also, if you do end up wearing it, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be having fun. You're going to be, say, at a music festival trying to dance around, but you're scared that your nipple's going to fall out, or you're going to be self-conscious because maybe it's just not a silhouette that you feel confident in, like whatever. So I think when shopping for tops in this category, be mindful of comfort and also personal style. Another incredible summer top option that I don't see a lot. And I've actually never even worn this, but I'm going to experiment with it this summer because I have one top that falls into this category and I'm going to try it. Wait, I might have more. No, I don't. Okay. Tunic. Okay. What's a tunic? Well, a tunic is a shirt that's kind of long. It's almost like either a long shirt or a dress that's a little bit too short, right? A tunic. It's too short to be a dress, but too long to be like a shirt. It's a tunic. Okay. I think a little tunic. And when it comes to the tunic, I mean, the opportunities are endless. Okay. You could wear like a boxy sort of smock-like tunic, something that's sort of utilitarian looking. Maybe it has pockets on the front. You could wear sort of like a 50s bathing suit style sort of tunic, like a long, tight sort of tank top that maybe has like a built-in little belt on it. You could wear something that has sort of a peplum. I personally have a like short sleeve, loose, thin, black, sort of peplumed tunic that is a controversial piece in my wardrobe. Some people in my life love it. Some people in my life hate it. Some people on the internet love it. Some people on the internet hate it. I personally love it. That's why I own it. But like, I'll use my personal tunic, if you will, as an example. It's black. It's loose. It has a little peplum on the bottom, a little frill, if you will. Like it had a little skirt almost on it. Like, let's say I wore that with a little cute pair of like white shorts. No. A little pair of like black short shorts underneath and like a little cute white scrunchy sock and like a little cute black flat. Cute, But I think what's cool about a tunic is that because it's not in the zeitgeist, because it's not trendy, by simply wearing that silhouette, you're doing something different. You're doing something unique. I'm not seeing people wearing tunics, okay? It's a very unique shape. Like having a little short peeking out of a tunic, that is a mini dress is not necessarily as unique, right? We see mini dresses all the time. But a little tunic with a little short sticking out the bottom, that's unique. You don't see that all the time. So it's a sort of like a simple recipe for a unique outfit during the summer. And again, the opportunities are endless. And I bet right now, if you were to go online onto like any resale site and look up vintage tunic and just scroll through, you're probably going to find a lot of cool things because again, this is not something that's trendy in the zeitgeist. And another thing I like about it as well is that, wearing like a little tunic with a little pair of shorts under, you get the feel of sort of a mini dress, but it's number one, more unique, as I've said 10 times now, but it also is more flexible. Like you could do a cartwheel in that because you're not worried about your little underwear showing or whatever, or, your little butthole if you're not wearing underwear, which is a little bit scandalous, but you do you. If you're wearing little shorts under the tunic, you can do a cartwheel, you can do the splits, you can twerk, you can dance, and you just have a bit more flexibility, right? Which I personally love. Okay, moving on to a specific material that's really fun for the summertime, which is knit tops. I see on Pinterest, I see so many cute summery knit tops, like little knit tank tops that have like little cute buttons on them, or, like little knit tank tops that have beautiful sort of patterns or sort of knit, like, various different knit colors going on at once to make like sort of a beautiful sort of heathered effect, like so many different beautiful knit tank top-ish sort of tops. Now, the only thing to be aware of is that I've worn knit pieces during the summer, okay? And knit is not the most breathable material, okay? So I will warn you, all right? It might not be something that you gravitate towards the most because depending on where you live in the climate, it's often a bit suffocating. It's great for nighttime though. I will say knit tops during the summer at nighttime is great, okay? It keeps your core a bit warmer just in case there's a little summer evening breeze. A lot of times the knit material does look and feel a bit more elevated, so it works great at nighttime if you want to be dressed up a bit. It's a great nighttime piece. It can work during the day. It can be cute if it's maybe a bit thinner of a knit or lighter of a knit, but I don't know. I just would be mindful. Like don't go and fill your closet. Don't go order like 5 knit tops for the summer. You know what I mean? Like, be mindful about it because it might not be the thing that you gravitate towards the most. But wow, so many cute options. Next, short sleeve structured button up tops. Now, when I say structured, I don't necessarily mean structured in like, well, it's like a corset. There's like boning in it, or it's super tight and like snatched. I more mean structured, and I actually shouldn't have used the word structured. I should have used the word tailored. Okay. Like not a boxy button up top, but rather a structured, nope, tailored button up top. Okay. I have one in my closet. That's a great example. I'll describe it. It's a black, super thin button up, short sleeve, collared shirt. It has a beautiful little fabric, like flower almost on the center. It looks like kind of like a rose, but it's in the same black sort of thin material as the rest of the top. It's super chic and tailored. It's actually really comfortable for hot weather because the fabric is quite thin, but it's very elevated. So like it would be a great top to wear to like a summer brunch or like a summer little event or, you know, to like a meeting during the summer. It's lightweight and comfortable, but due to the structure, due to the buttons, due to the collar, it's chic. I also have another sort of like button up. It's more of a sort of thicker, more dressy, like tight knit, sort of like, I don't even know what that material would be called. It's like blazer material. Like if you were to buy like a blazer or like a dress coat, and it's a button up tank top that kind of flares out at the bottom. That's another great sort of more elevated button up summer option. Due to the material, it's a bit less summery. Like the last one I described is thin, so it's nice. But this still it can work for summer. Perhaps at night, perhaps at a meeting, perhaps if it's not that hot on that particular day. But I think it's nice to have some more elevated options. It's just really hard to find during the summer because again, it's so hot. You just want to wear like a white, thin, ribbed tank top, you know? Like that's all you really want to wear. So it can be hard to figure out like, oh fuck, like I'm going to brunch and it's a nice sort of restaurant. Like I want to dress up, or like I'm going to, I don't know, like a cocktail event or something. I don't know. It can be hard. So I think that's a great top option. Next, super thin long sleeves. Okay, super thin. Now, the only challenge with this is that a lot of times it can be a bit revealing of the breast. You know, you might see nipple. So you might have to kind of layer like, well, I mean, you might not care, which is great. But if you do care, which I know, you know, a decent portion of you probably do, you know, you might have to wear sort of some sort of bra underneath or like a thin tank top underneath to sort of not make it as revealing. Because a lot of times like a thin long sleeve, it's not like fully transparent, but like, yeah, you can see a bit of body, which is sometimes hot and great, but sometimes not what you're looking for. But oh my God, I've seen, like, I love a really thin, dainty sort of long sleeve, tight during the summer. So chic with like, I don't know, with anything. It's so chic, but it's probably more of an evening look, you know, or like a cooler sort of day look, or like if you're on a boat or something perhaps and there's a bit more wind. Not that going on a boat is like, I don't know, like who has a boat, okay? But you get what I mean. You know what? I usually end up on a boat at least once per summer. I don't know how. It's usually not something I organized, okay, that's for sure, but I usually end up on a boat once. And that is the time to wear a slightly longer sleeve because it's windy sometimes. Okay, and last but not least, in the top category, another great option for adding layers, adding dimension, but not adding heat is to find things, and I don't have a word for this category of layering piece. I call these things toppers, okay? Because it's not a top, but it's like a topper for the top. You put it on top of the top, and you probably wouldn't wear it on its own. You know, it's almost exclusively a layering piece, but it's a cool thing to have around because you can throw it on top of, you know, basic tops and add a bit of intrigue. I have a lace one that I talk about a lot. It's like, you know, it's a little lace mock neck super cropped, like cropped to right beneath the breast sort of tank top. And it's completely sheer lace. It's gorgeous. I throw it on top of stuff and it just is always a vibe. There's also, I've seen a lot of different sort of like either knit sort of bralette looking things or beaded sort of bralette looking things that can be really gorgeous to throw on top of tank tops or on top of a bralette or something to sort of, again, like add some texture. And you can't really wear those things by themselves. I mean, you could. Listen, don't let me stop you. But, you can't go to work in that, right? You can't go to school in that. So, and we're being realistic here. So it's a cool thing to throw on top of like a basic tank top. Also, if you find like cute bikini tops that could sort of double as like a topper, if you will, great. Like I'm all about layering bras on top of tops, bikinis on top of tank tops. Like that could be cool and interesting. It's definitely a bit on the trendier side of things, but I think it's fun. Like it doesn't bother me. The reason why it doesn't bother me is because here's my take. You're taking something like a bikini top, right? Or a bralette, something that you can style in a trillion different ways. And you're putting it on top of your shirt, which then makes it a bit more trendy. Yes, but you're going to be able to wear the bralette or the bikini top or the topper in a bunch of different other ways. So that's what makes it okay in my eyes, is that these are versatile pieces, And maybe the way that you're styling it is a bit more trendy, but like I'm more against trendy purchases because those are things that are going to end up in the donate bin a bit too soon. That's something that I advise against. Again, shop however you want. I don't care. But that is something that I advise against. However, styling things in a way that's trendy, I don't really see anything wrong with that. If you're taking two pieces that by themselves are versatile and maybe a bit more timeless, then you're putting them together in a more trendy way. Like, who cares? Because you can then style them in a new trendy way in a year down the line because they're versatile pieces. Another fun sort of top or layering option would be like wide mesh tops, okay? I would actually argue that this is a timeless material. It's definitely trendy right now, but I think it's something that'll always look good. Like a mesh tank top, like big wide mesh or like big wide knit where you can like see directly through it, right? Almost like a basketball hoop kind of, like a basketball hoop has all the holes, like something like that. Cute. Okay. Tank top, maybe a little dress. I mean, we're not talking about dresses right now, but like, I don't know. I think that is a timeless sort of look and it's great for summer. Like I used to have, I think I donated it, but because I cropped it too short. That was a huge mistake I made many years ago, was like cropping everything. Like I'd buy something and crop it immediately. And now I'm so sad because, I like grew out of that style. I didn't like cropped clothes anymore. And then I was like, well, I can't wear this stuff anymore. I don't like it anymore. But anyway, I had this gorgeous like maroon sort of tank top where the neck and the armholes were like thick. They were like thick sort of maroon, I don't know, band. There was like a thick band. But then the rest of the top was sort of like, almost looked like a knit basketball hoop. It had like big holes. I could layer it over bralettes, over bathing suits, over tank tops, over t-shirts, anything. And it would just add interesting dimension. Another interesting option would be vests. Now I know what you're thinking. Emma, vests, like that's hot. That's warm. No, the vest category is far more expansive than I think we give it credit for. There are so many different unique vest options. Like I think we tend to just think of the sweater vest, but there are so many more vest options. Okay. Like you could get sort of, if you're somebody who likes maybe more of a Western sort of aesthetic, you could get like sort of a retro, like cool, sort of lightweight, Western-y sort of vest, like that's maybe sort of cropped or whatever and has like a tie in the center. You could perhaps find like maybe a thin sort of knit vest that like buttons up in the center. You could find perhaps like a cottony sort of sweatshirty sort of zip up vest. Like, I don't know. There's so many different options that I don't even know where to begin. But don't write off the vest category. There are a lot of different interesting lightweight vest options and could be a summer vibe. And last but not least, I think having some cute bralettes and bras that you don't mind having exposed can be really nice to have. Like having bralettes that you think are cute, where like if you're wearing a tank top and the tank top's kind of sheer and you can kind of see it through it, like you're cool with that. I actually personally haven't found any that I really like. I also tend to go braless as much as possible, even if I got a little nip going. I don't know. I have like some really simple like triangle bralettes that they're not like giving me boob support, but they're at least sort of protecting the areola from other people's gaze. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm personally still on the hunt for like cute bras that I'm excited to have exposed. I haven't really looked that hard though either, just because I am such like a braless girl for the most part. But I think that can be a really great staple to have in your closet if you live in a really hot climate and you might want to, have some bra showing. I briefly paused this episode to let you know that this episode is brought to you by eBay. We all have that piece. You know the one, the thing that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't have yours yet, you'll find it on eBay. Let me put you on, people. eBay is where you'll find those one-of-a-kind, can't stop researching, stay up dreaming about pieces again and again. I'm talking about that Miu Miu off the runway red leather bomber, that Custo Barcelona top with the cowboy on it, or that fleece in the 2017 colorway. All of these finds are on eBay. They even offer millions of main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved in vintage fashion. eBay, things people love. Now let's get back to the episode. All right, let's move on to bottoms, some staple bottoms to have in your wardrobe, starting with shorts. Obviously, denim shorts are a summer classic. Like, you can't go wrong with summer shorts, okay? I've been sort of on this journey recently of like rediscovering the denim short because for like 5 years, I was wearing pretty much the same few pairs of denim shorts. And then I ended up donating majority of them because they were either too small or they were starting to rip in places where it was like, I don't know what to do about this, which in retrospect, I probably could have fixed that. And that's a lesson I just learned right now. But anyways, I got rid of majority of my denim shorts to mainly make space for ones that like fit me better. I don't know, like I used to like tighter denim shorts that like really squeeze the booty. And as I've grown up and hopefully gotten a bit more of a booty, okay, probably not, but maybe a little bit. I'm looking for something that's a bit looser. I'm looking for something that fits me better now, right? Like I don't need a tight booty short like that for denim shorts. There's other shorts that I like to be little booty short, tight shorts, but denim, no, that's not what I like. So I got rid of everything. And I've been over the last few months sort of trying to find shorts that I like. And all of the denim shorts, I'm only shopping vintage. To me, there are so many amazing denim shorts out there already, vintage. To me, I can't justify buying a new pair. And I also think that they look better. So my suggestion is go to the flea markets, go to the vintage stores, and try on a bunch of vintage denim shorts, okay? You're going to get a natural looking wash that's timeless, which is what we should all be, striving for. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what you should be striving for. Strive for whatever the fuck you want. All right? If you want 90s acid wash, tight little booty shorts, don't let me get in the way. But I think my favorite type of denim shorts are any sort of, I don't know, just vintage, naturally worn in sort of shorts. And honestly, you can't go wrong with any length. That's the other thing that's cool. Like, go to the flea markets, go to the vintage shops, go to the thrift stores, and just try on a bunch of shorts and like let it find you, Like I have some short shorts, like some shorter shorts, baggier shorty shorts, sort of. I have some longer ones that go down to the knee. Like I've been finding various different lengths, various different washes, and it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been a journey. It's taken months and months and months to find because it's almost like finding a wedding dress. It's like you got to wait and it's almost like the shorts will find you. But that's my recommended method of finding denim shorts. Buy them secondhand and just let them find you in a way. And I don't even have a suggestion for length. Like It's whatever you like. Like, I think you could go all the way down to the knee. That's cute. You could go short with your little booty hanging out. I don't care. All of it's cute. All of it's cute. I'm about all of it. Another great option is work pant cutoffs. Okay. Any work pant will do. Okay. Something more like a Dickie, something more like a Carhartt. It doesn't matter. Like a 50s style sort of work pant. Some of my favorite pants of all time. Anytime I find like a 50s, 60s male pair of work pants that was for a shorter man who was maybe 5'5", I am buying them. Okay. I love it's my favorite type of pants of all time. I'm actually starting to see some brands like remake them, and it's exciting to me because they're kind of hard to find sometimes, and I just love that pant. Anyways, like a simple like chino, straight leg, kind of wide leg sort of, pant. Love them long, but also love them as cutoffs. I have a pair of gray 50s work pant cutoffs that I just recently found that I'm obsessed with. I'm so excited to wear them. I also just took a pair of black canvas, like Dickie like pants that I got vintage or secondhand. I actually don't think they were vintage. They were just thrifted. I thrifted them, and they kind of fit weird. Like whoever owned them before me got them tailored, and I didn't notice the weird sort of tailoring on them when I bought them. But as I wore them over and over again, I noticed that like they were tailored weird. So they kind of fit weird and had some weird creases. And so I cut them into super short shorts because the tailoring was fine, coochie up, but coochie down, like the legs were fitting kind of weird. So anyway, I turned them into shorts. Love little Dickie sort of cut off shorts. Cute. And what I like about work pant cutoff shorts is that they're a bit more interesting than denim shorts. Not that I think denim shorts are great, okay? But a work pant cutoff is a bit different. It's a bit more unusual. It's a bit less common, but equally as comfortable, equally as versatile, and yeah, love. Moving on to cotton/knit soft sort of shorts. Okay, imagine like a little pair of crocheted cute little shorts with like a little tie around the waist, or like a 50s style bikini bottom, board short bikini bottom that's like, maybe a bright color like red or green with like a white waistband with like a little tie around the waist, or like a little pair of soft sort of boxer shorts, or like a pair of like soft sort of like florally little knit little, you get what I'm saying? Like little cute, light, cottony knit sort of little shorts. They can be tight, they can be loose, but they're always short shorts. That is the key characteristic, I would say. I mean, you can get longer ones too, cute, but that's not really what I'm talking about here, okay? I love little shorty shorts like this. I do. Ooh, another great example that I forgot to mention, like a little yoga short, like a little fold over waistband yoga short. Okay, cute. I have a black pair. Wear them all the time. They're great. I honestly think this is where you can really have fun with shorts. Like this is where you find the statement short, right? Because the options are endless, right? With denim or like a work pant, it's for the most part neutrals, canvasy denim. It's very simple, right? This category of shorts, fun. The party, I mean, it's just a party with this type of shorts, okay? You can get striped ones. You can get polka dot ones. You can get ones with a contrasting waistband or a little tie. You can get ones that are tight and like lift the booty up. You can get ones that are loose and flowy. Like the options are endless. I don't even know where to begin. I think the only piece of advice I can give you when searching for shorts like this is ones that, number one, show an amount of booty that you're comfortable with. Like if you buy shorts that where your butthole's out a little bit too much, you're showing a little bit too much hole, you're not going to want to wear those. If you love showing hole and that's what you're comfortable with, okay, great. Then now you bought little booty shorts where you're showing hole and now you're happy. It's about finding how much hole you want to show, okay? Also, a material that's comfortable, all right? Like you don't want, listen, sometimes these cute little knit cottony shorts are tight. That's fine. That can actually be comfortable. But you want to make sure that the material is breathable enough for you, that the material doesn't chafe. It's not like a sort of rough material that might chafe I actually had this gorgeous, oh my God, I'm actually kind of heartbroken that I donated these. I donated them when I did like my huge closet clean out like a while ago now, but I regret, this is like one of the only things I regret donating. I've posted these shorts online, so you might have seen them before. They were like a gorgeous pair of red sort of board shorts. They had a white waistband, a little tie around the waist, white rings around the leg holes, but they were red. They were so gorgeous, but the material, they were really vintage, and the material back then was very thick and very rough. And oh my God, they were so gorgeous. I regret donating them. I honestly I love those shorts so much. I shouldn't have donated them. But I hope that somebody out there is wearing them and loving them. That's the only thing that allows me to sleep at night about those shorts. I feel fucking sick that I donated them. I shouldn't have. I don't regret almost anything else that I donated. But those shorts, huge mistake. Like huge. I actually can't think about it anymore. We have to change the subject. But the reason why I donated those was because the material was so thick, it was a bit uncomfortable, to be honest. They weren't super breathable. They weren't super, I don't know. Yeah, like it just, they chafed a bit, and that's why I got rid of them, but I regret it every day. I also got rid of a pair of like sort of cottony, puffy, sort of like boxer looking shorts because they look terrible on the butt. That's another thing to be careful of. You know, you see all these girls, myself included, on Instagram in these cute little boxer looking shorts. They're not always the most flattering. So be mindful. Turn around in the mirror and look at your butt before you buy a cute little pair of like cottony, boxery shorts. Moving on to activewear shorts. Very trendy, especially in the last few years. Like, I can't tell you how many little athletic little shorts I've seen with like a little moto boot or like a little ballet flat. I mean, that was all the rage the last few years. But I think you can't go wrong with that type of short. I mean, I particularly love like a vintage pair, and there are so many vintage pairs of like little athletic shorts that have like little stripes on the side, you know, the whole thing. In a classic color like navy or red or green. It's just cute. You know, you can't go wrong. But there's actually good ones that aren't vintage as well. Like you can get new pairs that are cute and probably are in a more breathable material, to be honest. A lot of the vintage little athletic shorts are not breathable at all. And that's my only issue with them. But if you size up a size or two, you'll be fine. You know, because the wind will pass through, you know, because it's a bit. But if you want something maybe a bit tighter and athletic, probably maybe a newer pair that's a bit more breathable. But anywho, last but not least in the short category, longer, dressier shorts / capris. Okay, I'm putting this all into one category. For less hot days or, you know, fancier evenings, these are a go-to and so underrated. Okay, like you could do like a boxy sort of long dress pant style short, like something that's almost in like a dress pant material that has sort of that boxy pleated sort of dress pant vibe, but it's in a short. So chic. I have a pair of black ones that I absolutely love, wear all the time. They're, you know, definitely more of a masculine silhouette, super boxy, but I think so chic and so cool. And paired with like, you know, maybe a more dainty top or like a more sort of, not dainty necessarily, but like maybe a more simple, perhaps revealing sort of top can be a really nice juxtaposition. Or like a straight leg sort of capri-like short. Okay, I have a pair of cream ones that I mean, I can't really tell if they're a capri or a short because they like just hit the knee. And they're a bit less boxy than the last pair that I described, more of a straight leg, but not skin tight. These are definitely a bit more feminine than the first one I described, but yeah, equally as awesome. Sort of like, I don't know, the straight leg, I think, can look very elegant and have like the perfect balance of masculine and feminine sort of silhouette going at once. But another option would be like a tight, almost legging-like sort of capri / I guess at that point it's not really a short, it's more of a capri. But yeah, like you could also go biker short length, but any sort of like legging-like tight, short or capri in some sort of more dressier sort of material. I think chic. Some people are really against the biker short length. In fact, I was for a long time, but I've actually been proven wrong. I've seen it work. I've seen it work quite a few times. So I'm not against it anymore. The thing I love about this category specifically is that they look really interesting and intriguing, even if they're in like a simple color, like black or cream or gray, just because the longer short capri sort of silhouette is in itself maybe less common, not something you see as much. You see more skirts and dresses out there. You don't see a long short as often, so it's unique in itself, but also they can look really cool with a pattern, perhaps a polka dot, perhaps a stripe, perhaps a plaid, perhaps a a gingham or something. Wait, gingham? I don't think I like gingham. Do I like gingham? I do like gingham. I actually do. Okay, so gingham. I had to Google gingham because I was like, I think I know what that is. It's like super small checkerboard-ish sort of plaid. Anyway, just in case you forgot what gingham was like I did, which is kind of scaring me that I forgot what that is. Anyway, but yeah, like the opportunities are endless. Moving on to skirts, okay? I think my favorite summer skirt category would be the long, flowy, lightweight skirt, okay? And I actually didn't own any prior to recently. Like when I did my big closet clean out, I got rid of any sort of lightweight skirt that I had. And so I was sort of like, this summer rolled around and I was like, wait a minute. All of my skirts are super thick. Like I have a lot of cute skirts, but they're so thick that I can't wear them during the summer. I'm suffocating. So I've been sort of on the hunt for lightweight, longer skirts. And I found one. I'm trying to remember if I found any more. No, I think I just found one that I'm really happy with. I'm like, this is good. I'll just wear this skirt all summer. It's like a silky, sort of thin, minty green sort of skirt that at the top has like, it almost looks like it has little boxer shorts coming out the top that are light brown gingham with little buttons. Super sweet, super timeless. I wore it to Coachella. Cute. And I wore it to Coachella and it stood the test, okay? I was not hot in that skirt at all. It was so breathable, but it was long. And I liked that it was long because I was like, sometimes you don't want to show legs. Sometimes you're not in the mood. And I think it can look really beautiful and elegant and timeless to wear like a thin, long skirt during the summer. But the main differentiating factor with these long skirts versus like just any long skirt is that the thin material's key, right? Because otherwise it is like a greenhouse for your butthole. If you're wearing like a thick, long skirt during the summer, it's not comfortable. It is literally like a greenhouse. It's just heat under there. You lift up the skirt and it's like a fucking a like plume of hot air will hit anyone walking by if you lift that fucking skirt. It's just gross. So I had never really thought about it before, but yeah, I think it's not excessive actually to have some thick skirts and some thinner, lighter skirts in your wardrobe, because when it comes to the category of longer skirts, seasonally, the thickness makes a huge difference. Whereas like with a mini skirt, which we'll talk about next, it's less of a big deal because it's such a small amount of material. It's like, who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But for anything knee length and longer, which I would consider a longer skirt, right? Knee length and longer, even though, I mean, it's technically like a midi skirt, but I think anything longer than a mini skirt to me is a long skirt, which might be kind of wrong thinking. But anyway, and I think when it comes to skirts, like these long skirts, it can be really fun to sort of pick some beautiful materials, right? Like my skirt is silky, which is really a beautiful material, or really light sort of plaid sort of fabric, like knit sort of plaid, thin though, thin knit fabric. Spit it out, Emma. Maybe a really beautiful linen. I don't know, like even experiment with different patterns. Like I think a lot of times a long skirt can be sort of a statement in a way because it is such a large piece of fabric. It really, when somebody's looking at your outfit, it takes up so much space that I think, it can be fun to have that be sort of more of a statement, perhaps with a pattern of sorts, any sort of pattern that you like. But moving on to mini skirts, to be honest, I don't even know how to give direction on a mini skirt. Like, I don't even know what to say about a mini skirt. There are just so many options. And like, my only thing is I actually don't find mini skirts to be the most comfortable, which is why I don't have very many in my wardrobe. I just find that like A lot of times I don't feel like I can move in them. Like I'm scared of lifting a leg because my undies might be out, like I don't feel like I can move in them. And that is an issue I have with them. However, comfortable ones do exist. I have a few in my closet. I have 2 really cute little knit sort of little skirts that are like kind of pleated, have a little waistband tie. They're sweet. They're cute. They're comfortable. I love them. I don't wear them very often for some reason, but they are in my closet. I think when it comes to mini skirts, just find one that's comfortable and that you're going to wear for years to come. Okay. Nothing too trendy. And then that's my only advice. And last but not least, sheer skirts. Okay. That can be worn as a bikini cover up or layered over other skirts or pants for added dimension. I've seen some really cute, like long sheer lace skirts that people have, put over cute little shorts or over their bikini. I've seen really gorgeous, like sort of mesh, like wide knit mesh sort of long skirts that are cute as a cover up or over little shorts or even over pants. It can be a really cool layering opportunity. Moving on to long pants. Okay, there are almost no long pants that I suggest for summer. During the summer, I'm sorry, I don't want to wear pants. There's almost no scenario where pants make sense, especially during the day. Like I see pictures of people wearing like long knit sort of like yoga pant almost looking pants, but they're not yoga pants because they're like knit and they're more beachy looking. And I'm like, ooh, that to me looks sweaty. The longest I'm going during the summer usually is either a really long skirt that's getting air circulated through it every few seconds because it's so breathable, or like a capri. Anything longer than that, I'm like, no thanks. Even at night. However, there are 2 types of pants that I will wear during the summer. Actually 3. Okay, I've been debating including the 3rd, but I'll include it. All right, number 1, light cotton or linen pants, almost like PJs. These are very trendy right now. Usually they'll come in like a white linen or like a light blue linen or, some sort of classic pajama pattern like stripes or plaid or whatever, usually in pastels, whites, creams, blues, maybe even yellows or maybe a little green or a little brown or something, but pretty pastel, pretty preppy looking, cute, comfy, breathable. I've been trying to find a pair of this type of pants that are perfect for me for a long time, that aren't too sheer, but also aren't too thick, that also are flattering at all angles. It's tough. It's a tough one to find. However, it's definitely possible. I haven't found my own personal pair, but I've seen other people in their personal pair, and I've considered even buying them off of them, being like, can I just have those? Because I've been looking for a long time and I haven't found them, and you have. So like, how much can I pay you for those fucking pants? God damn it. But that's a great option because they're breathable and lightweight and summery looking. Okay, that's a great option. For nighttime, a really loose, thin dress pant. I'm talking really thin. All right, dress pants a lot of times can be thick. I'm not talking about thick. There is a certain category of dress pants that are thin. They're still structured, but thin. I have like 2 pairs, I think. One like navy with white pinstripes and one just plain black pair. And they're thin enough that I actually can wear them during the summer. But I'm not really gravitating towards those during the summer usually. I'm honestly usually gravitating towards a capri, towards a short, towards a long skirt. But there are times when you want to wear a pant, and a thin dress pant can work. My last category would be like a worn, loose pair of vintage jeans, okay? With like maybe some distressing going on. California surfer vibe, loose jeans. Honestly cute. With like a flip-flop, honestly love. With like a leathery flip-flop, like a brown leathery flip-flop. Cute. Cute. But I don't know, like a lot of times if I'm going to wear a jean, I'd rather just wear a jean short during the summer. So that's why I was hesitant to include it. But I do think that a loose jean can be a great summer option for the evening time, perhaps. Maybe for a bonfire or something. But pants I'm usually avoiding. Let's move on to dresses. Okay, I'm not a dress girl, notoriously. Like everyone knows I'm not a dress girl. Unless I'm going to an event, then I will wear a dress because that is the dress code. And for events like that, I actually love wearing like a gown. I love wearing a gown. It's interesting. Like I love wearing a gown. I actually feel myself in a gown in a dress, like a casual dress, it never feels right for me. And I never feel like it's flattering. But I also think it's just because I don't know, I'm not like looking hard enough. So it's hard for me to give you advice on dresses because I don't wear them very much casually. But I will say, right? Like I can't tell you what to look for, but I can tell you what not to look for. I can tell you what to avoid. I would say avoid corseted dresses, overly structured dresses that are going to suffocate you. Okay? A lot of beautiful dresses out there have structure going on. They have boning, they have, whatever. That's great for like spring and fall, maybe even winter, because the weather allows, and I actually don't hate a corset. I kind of like the way it like keeps my back up. I'm standing up straight, I'm perky, I'm ready. But during the summer, not a vibe. Not a vibe. You might think it'll look cute at brunch. I don't care. Find something else. Uncomfortable. Too hot. Another thing to avoid, lots of material, really poofy. There are some beautiful gowns out there that have some volume going. And I think that can be great. Again, for like fall, winter, maybe. Maybe spring, if you live somewhere where spring is a bit crispier out, like it could work. Summer, I just think you don't want a lot of material. You don't. But another silhouette I would say to avoid would be anything really tight, like a bodycon sort of dress. During the summer, it could be cute, it could work, but no, I don't know. I just don't really like that style of dress anyway. I find it so unflattering. I like have never felt cute in a bodycon dress. If you love it, rock it, okay? Don't let me yuck your yum, right? But I think for the most part, that silhouette, number one, reminds me of like the TV show Jersey Shore, which, by the way, one of my favorite shows. Actually, not one of my favorites, but it's a great show. But I don't know. I don't think it's flattering. I don't think it's comfortable. I think it's like constricting and like, I just don't like a bodycon. But that's more of an opinion. If you love it and it's comfortable for you for the summer, don't let me stop you. Moving on to shoes, okay? I was anti-flip-flop for a long time. I am no longer anti-flip-flop. I am pro-flip-flop. I love flip-flops. I absolutely love flip-flops. And I think everyone should have a solid pair of classic flip-flops in their wardrobe for the summer. And I think it's best to just choose whatever matches your style, okay? If you tend to dress a bit more California, like surfer girl vibe, maybe get a cute pair of like brown leathery sort of flip-flops. If you are more of like kind of like a grungier sort of maybe more like dark fashion kid, black flip-flops. If you are maybe somebody who like loves like maximalism, campy, like get a pair that has like a bunch of bejewels all over it. My only suggestion when it comes to flip-flops, because I think the best option is whatever feels the most you. My only suggestion is get a pair that is completely flat on the bottom, no platform. The platform flip-flop is not that comfortable, okay? It can be cute. I've seen it be cute. I've worn them a few times. Not in a long time, but I've worn, a platform flip-flop in the past. They are so not wearable. Like, listen, if you find a pair that is, okay, be my guest, and you love the platform flip-flop, sure. I'm just kind of over the platform in general as a category. And also I just think that they're not that comfortable and they're not that, I don't know. Listen, if you find one that you love, prove me wrong. All right. I love being proved wrong. It's great. But I would say they might be a bit too uncomfortable and a bit too trendy. Another summer shoe, clogs. We've all seen the Birkenstock clog. Okay. The Boston, I believe it is. Is it Boston? Yeah. The classic with like the little strap going over the top and it's clog. Usually they're in taupe. By the way, those are forever. I don't think you can ever go wrong with those. But if you want a clog and you're not really into the Birkenstock ones, have no fear, okay? There are so many cool clogs out there. They are also kind of having a moment. So like there's even more options because they're in the zeitgeist. Like people, mainstream brands are making clogs. Clogs are so cool. And there's so many different variations of clogs, like more futuristic looking clogs that are like super smooth or like, sort of like a gardening clog that, is a bit more sort of wholesome looking. It looks like something an art teacher would wear, or obviously somebody who likes gardening. There are clogs that have like cute, like wood soles and like have cute little buckle details. Like there's so many different types of clogs out there. And I think clogs are really cool. My only thing is try them on first. Don't order them online, or order them online if you can return them, because clogs can be really hit or miss on comfort. Like it's a finicky type of shoe. A flip-flop, less so. Flip-flops are almost always comfortable as long as they're flat on the bottom. Clogs are hit or miss, so I would recommend trying on. Next, retro sneakers with a pop of color. Okay, this is the time to go get that sneaker you've been wanting. If it's like summertime and you're like, I need a new sneaker, this is the time to get like the cute white sneaker with the red stripes on it, or to get like the bright blue sneaker with the yellow stripes on it. Like this is the time to do like the fun, retro inspired, cute, bright, fun sneaker. Love. In there forever. Like those types of sneakers also look great during other seasons, but I think they shine during the summer. Next, for like slightly more formal sort of events, I think it can be really nice to have a comfy, light pair of loafers, perhaps like a more flexible sort of leathery material. I say leathery because it doesn't need to be leather, like faux leather, of course, but or whatever, but like a lighter, more flexible sort of loafer could be really nice. Or, some sort of flat shoe, like not necessarily a ballet flat, but sort of a ballet inspired flat, perhaps. I think a simple, elegant sort of shoe like this that's flexible, light, comfortable can be paired with a cute little sock for like a bit more of a dressy moment. Like you're not probably wearing that to the beach, but like if you're going to the brunch, if you're going to a meeting, like whatever, this can be a great lightweight shoe that allows your foot to breathe, won't cause a blister because it's a thin, more malleable material, but looks elevated and sharp, And last but not least, a little kitten heel for the nighttime. Okay, I'm finally at a point now in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to wear a little heel on my own time. Okay. Prior to the last year, I was like, I'm not wearing a heel unless I'm going to an event. Like if I'm going to dinner with friends, I'm not wearing a little heel. But I've been recently like kind of wanting that sort of feminine foot moment. I don't know why. Like I've just been kind of craving, I don't know, like it's just been like appealing to me, like, a little like sexy kitten heel. Like I'm into it. I'm ready for that. So like a little slingback kitten heel, you can't go wrong. I have a pair of black ones that I just got because I literally did not own heels up until recently. And then I've had this pair of maroon ones for a while, and I have those as well. I'm good. That's all I need. Red for a pop of red, black for every other time. Great. Great for like a cute little brunch, great for a little night out. You can't go wrong with a little kitten heel. I mean, this is obvious. My only thing is I prefer a slingback because I don't know how people walk around in the little kitten heels that have no strap on the back. Like, are you sliding around? I can't walk in those. I don't know how people walk in those. Anyway, moving on to outerwear. There's really only two options in my mind. I thought about it for a long time, trying to think outside the box. But outerwear during the summer, like before I'm going to choose outerwear, I'm going to choose like a thin long sleeve. You know what I mean? So I'm almost never wearing outerwear, but I think the two best options are, number one, a light button up. I love like a classic blue, pale blue, sort of preppy button up. Love. And like a thin sort of breathable material. Or, any kind of button up. Maybe like a cute little plaid one, a cute little polka dot one. I don't give a fuck. That's for you to decide. There's infinite types of button ups. Perhaps like even something that's maybe a bit more blouse like, maybe in like a slightly softer, more sort of silky, heavy sort of material, but heavy in the way that the gravity's pulling it down, but it's still thin. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a great option. Or a nice thin little button-up cardigan. The thing I like about these two options is that, number one, they're effective at keeping you warm. But number two, they're also easy to like throw around your neck. Like you can tie them around your neck comfortably and it'll look cute. Okay, because the thing about the summer is that, I don't know, like the weather's constantly changing. Like you might sit in the shade for a bit and get kind of cold and want to put on, your little button up, but then you might go back into the sun and be sweating your ass off and want to take it off. So it's nice to have an outerwear that's flexible enough and light enough and thin enough to be able to throw it around your neck and have it look sort of cute and preppy in that way. I'm avoiding coats at all costs. Like I don't know, a cute little sweater. I said button up cardigan. You could also wear like any kind of thin sweater. But I think a button up is my favorite. But any sweater that's thin and comfortable will do. But I just find that like a big sort of sweater during the summer, it can kind of cover everything up. It can be nice to have a sweater that's open so that you can see what's underneath during the summer, because you already don't have a lot of stuff going on during the summer. I think a button up adds dimension because you can leave it open and then you can see what's underneath. Whereas if you just throw this big sweater on, I don't know, it can kind of mask the rest of your outfit in a way. All right, let's move on to accessories, okay? Let's start with hat and headwear. Obviously, we have the classic baseball cap. Baseball caps are forever. Whether you're wearing like a classic like Ralph Lauren little baseball cap, or you're wearing a baseball cap from, your favorite tourist destination as a kid, or, you're wearing a weird, funny vintage baseball cap that you found like at a vintage shop, or you're wearing a baseball cap for your favorite baseball team. It doesn't matter. Baseball caps are forever. My favorite are vintage ones, even though it's kind of disgusting because whenever you thrift one or get one from a vintage shop, it's like, where has this been? And did they have lice? But I love a worn-in baseball cap. I will say, a trucker hat, very similar to a baseball cap, but different. There's a flat sort of brim going. Is it called a brim? I don't know. That sort of styrofoam front with like the mesh back. I have mixed feelings about a trucker hat. They're just so trendy that I see them and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm on TikTok. Every time I see one, I feel like I'm on my For You page. It's really hard for me. I have a hard time finding them chic, but if you like it and you think it's fun, wear it and tell me I'm wrong. Okay. That's the beauty about debate. We can debate things in this life. All right. Another option, a thin bonnet. Okay. I recently sewed myself a lace bonnet and I love wearing that lace bonnet. It's not hot. It doesn't add much heat, a little bit maybe, but like it really is just adding dimension. And I also have bleached hair, and it's kind of nice to cover the bleached hair because it's not the best for hair that's bleached to be like out in the sun all day. So putting that little lace bonnet over it, is the sun probably still like burning my hair? Probably. But in my little cute little imagination, I think that it's protecting my bleached hair. A lace bonnet adds so much personality to an outfit. Or any kind of thin little bonnet. I love bonnets. I think that they're so beautiful. I think, it really showcases the head shape of the person wearing it. I think it's sort of wholesome, but can also be very fashion. I love, love, love a bonnet. And speaking of a bonnet, something kind of similar could be sort of a beautiful thin scarf. You can style a scarf on your head in so many different ways. You can like tie it under the chin, very like 1950s riding in a convertible vibe. Like the options are endless. It can protect your hair from the sun. It can protect your hair from the humidity. There's so many. It's actually like a useful accessory, but it's also a very beautiful accessory. Love it. And there's so many different, like you can add so much beautiful, a lot of scarves like come in so many different, like you can get a beautiful polka dot one. You could get, I keep up bringing up polka dots because I love polka dots, but you could wear a beautiful floral one. You could get one that's just like a simple, like a bright red. There's so many different options. Another option, straw hat. I've never liked a straw hat, but I bought one as a joke at Coachella this year. I was at the gas station. Okay, I'll actually set the scene for you. It was day one of Coachella, and I bought myself a hat that said Coachella all over it from the local gas station near Coachella. And it like says Coachella all over it. It's super corny, but I kind of loved it. And I bought it as a joke because I thought it'd be funny and we'd all wear it throughout the weekend. Like my friends and I could all share it whenever we're outside and wanted to wear a straw hat. We could take photos with it. It's funny. And then keep it as a keepsake. Like I was like, I'll literally hang this on my wall because I think it's funny, and I'll literally wear it around, my backyard during the summer. Like I'm not just buying this to, because it's a full joke. Like I'll also use it because it's kind of funny. But then I like fell in love with it. I was like, wait, I love a straw hat. And there are much cuter ones than mine that says Coachella on it. So I'd recommend not buying one like that. But a straw hat's a vibe. It's comfortable. It really blocks the sun out of your eyes. And there actually are some cute ones out there. Not all of them are cute. You got to search a bit, but cute ones do exist. And I didn't think that was true, but I was proven wrong because I looked for the first time really recently after buying my Coachella one, and I was like, wait, This is a good deal. Like, this is a thing. I like this. I like the straw hat. Headbands. Like, headbands are so, I always forget about headbands, but they're such a great summer accessory because, again, they're actually functional. They can like push your hair out of your face, which is nice when you're sweaty and damp and your hair wants to stick to your face. But also, again, adding some character. Fabric headbands, the like 90s wire headbands, like thick sort of lace headband. Like, who cares? Any headband. But headbands can be a great way to add character without adding heat, okay? And a headband can really change the vibe of an outfit. Like, don't underestimate a headband. Your outfit can go from like, oh, that's cute, to like, whoa, that's really cute because of a headband. Don't underestimate the headband. Moving on to a visor. I love visors. Sorry, I love visors. I think that they're so cute. I think that they're preppy. I think that they're fun. I think that they're like a bit tongue-in-cheek, a bit silly, but like can actually also be really chic. I love a visor. But I think the best, if you're getting a visor, get a simple one. Get like a simple, preppy little visor that's like navy blue, okay? I don't think the visor is the place to like get experimental, right? Like the visor is best done simply, I think. And last but not least, I have to mention it because it's like such a popular hat style for summer. I don't like them that much. I've worn them before, but I don't like them that much. Bucket hat. Listen, can it be cute? There are instances where it can be cute. It's just rare, and I almost always think that they look kind of chuggy to me for some reason. A bucket hat is like the most basic hat you can think of. If you think of like a hat that's not a baseball cap, it's probably a bucket hat. I don't know. It just doesn't click in my brain. But if it clicks in yours, go for it because it's actually a very functional hat. And there's a lot of options out there. So I don't know. Like, don't let me yuck your yum. Okay, moving on. Glasses. For summer, I think big glasses. And my reasoning for that is it is so bright during the summer that you want your sunglasses to fully protect the eye. You know what I mean? And like cute little, like 90s little mini glasses are cute, but they're not protecting the eye. Like sun will still come in from above and like hurt your eyes. I love like a big glass, okay? Whether it's like a big 60s like mod glass or it's like a super futuristic sort of like, very like modern fashion, like big shield-like sort of glass. I love big glasses. Or like a big chunky sort of like classic Ray-Ban sort of shape, like that classic, what's that style? Wayfair. Like a classic Wayfair that's like big, I just think big glasses are the best for summer. Otherwise, you're not even protecting your eyes. And then when it comes to the color, I think glasses are really personal, but I do recommend getting something that you're going to be able to wear with almost anything in your closet. That might mean a black pair. That might mean a bright red pair. Maybe like everything in your closet looks good with a pop of red. That is absolutely possible. Or maybe, your color palette in your closet works best with like brown tortoiseshell. I think sunglasses, I'm all about having a few pairs of sunglasses. Okay, I'm not against it. But I think like if you want to buy a staple pair, buy one that'll match everything in your closet. Buy something that's neutral in color, but really, really unique to you in shape. Or not even necessarily really, really unique to you in shape, but unique to you in shape. Next, jewelry. I think summer is all about colorful, fun beads and, statement jewelry, like, beautiful, again, beaded pieces, lots of like beautiful charms, layering a bunch of jewelry, having fun with like jewelry locations. Like, fuck it, it's summer. We're showing ankle, do an anklet, do a toe ring, add little charms to your belt loop, add little charms to your sunglasses, like add charms, like add jewelry to everything. I think jewelry really shines during the summer because there's so much skin showing, and jewelry really shines when it's on skin, right? Like jewelry looks cute, kind of hidden behind a collared shirt, I guess, or like peeping out of a wrist, but like jewelry shines during the summer because it has the perfect canvas. And I think finding statement jewelry that feels you it's such a fun way to express yourself during the summer. And there are endless options, like you can do like a little rope necklace that has like a beautiful stone on it. You could like wear a bunch of fucking friendship bracelets. I don't care. Like just have fun with it. It's summer, but I love the idea of a toe ring and an anklet. I might do that this summer. And then last but not least, let's discuss some miscellaneous accessories. Okay. Starting with belts. Okay. I think really colorful statement belts are great for the summer because you can wear like a white tank top, classic shorts, like denim shorts, and then throw on a fun belt. Boom, you got a vibe. Perhaps like thicker belts. Why not? It's summer. I don't know. I think statement belts are really fun for summer. As well as my last accessory, fun socks, like a tube sock with like cute little retro stripes on it. Cute. And again, you're showing leg during the summer. This is the time to like have a fun sock or like a thin lace sock, like gorgeous, or maybe sort of like tonal socks that match your outfits. I don't know. You can have fun with socks because people are seeing them. During the winter, no one's seeing your socks. During the fall, even, no one's really seeing your socks. It's during the spring and summer that it's really time to have fun with the socks. And to finish off this episode, I'm going to give you some example outfits. Like I'm going to give you a scenario and then share like a suggested outfit for that scenario, starting with for the beach. Okay. Example of a phenomenal beach outfit to me would be white tank. All right. Simple, thin, white tank that's kind of see-through so you can kind of see the bikini through it. Cute. With some denim shorts, loose. Okay. Or, work pant cutoffs, just some sort of loose, comfy, durable pants. Okay. Because you want to wear durable pants to the beach because you're like roughing it in the sand and stuff. And you don't want to like, I don't know. There's something about thicker shorts that just work better at the beach, in my opinion. Like you can sit in the sand and you're not going to stain them. You're not going to rip them. They're just durable. Like sand is very abrasive and like sitting in dainty little shorts, I don't know. It just can sometimes like damage it. I don't know. Anyway, heavy duty shorts, denim, work pant cutoffs, whatever. Maybe with a cute belt. Why not? Okay. Maybe with a little baseball hat. Okay. A cute little retro-y baseball hat. With like some cute big glasses and some flip-flops. Fuck it. Can I be honest? The outfit I just described is not that cute. But it could be cute. If every little element is interesting and unique to you, it could be a cute outfit. Does that make sense? It could be interesting. Let's move on to a running errands outfit. An outfit for going to the farmer's market, for going to the grocery store, for going to the post office. I don't know what you're doing. Running errands. Okay. Starting with a unique shaped top, maybe a halter top perhaps, paired with a loose, flowy, longer skirt. Okay. Perhaps with a light sock and a clog. We're going a bit wholesome for errands today. Paired with some big glasses. And if we're feeling really fashionable, perhaps a little bonnet. Perhaps a little bonnet. Okay. Moving on to a brunch outfit. Let's start with a thin knit top with unique details. Perhaps little buckles on it or little buttons on it or, just something that makes it unique. Maybe an interesting color or an interesting pattern, because it's knit. So there's a bunch of whatever. Paired with dressy capri length dress pants / long shorts, either or. Also with a lace bonnet if you're feeling very fashionable on that particular day. With some huge glasses, an anklet, and a kitten heel. Comfortable, but absolutely chic. Now, what about a night out outfit? Oh, don't worry. This is the simplest one yet. Chic, button-up, short sleeve. Thin material, breathable, cute. Okay? Perhaps with a light little sweater tied around your neck, just in case. Paired with some super light dress pants or another capri, if it's a bit warm, with a little kitten heel. It's that simple. All right? And that's it. That's Emma's guide to summer clothing. And to some of you, all this might have been obvious, but to some of you, this might have been helpful. And that's all I could ever ask for. And if you enjoyed this episode, tune in again. I'm here every Thursday and Sunday. All right. I'm here to hang out twice a week. So come hang out with me if you want, or hang out with another podcaster if you don't like me. And that's totally fine. I love to see the industry of podcasting thrive. So you don't need to hang out with me. Just hang out with some sort of podcaster. Anything Goes is available anywhere you stream podcasts. Video is on Spotify and YouTube. Anything Goes is on social media everywhere at Anything Goes. I'm everywhere on the internet at Emma Chamberlain. And my coffee company is called Chamberlain Coffee, and you can find it in various places if you want it. If you want to find it, you will. And that's all I have for today. I love you all. I appreciate you all. It's always so much fun to sit back, relax, and chat with you. You might not be relaxing while you're listening, though. Like, for all I know, you could be on like the Stairmaster or something, or like doing like at-home Pilates. I don't know what you're doing. Or you could be trying to do homework, but also listen to me simultaneously. I don't know. You could be doing something hard. But for me, I get to sit back, relax, and talk to you. And it's a joy. And I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. And I will talk to you in a few days. Peace, love, and prosperity, baby. I love you all. Talk soon.